welcome back to the channel. My name is Dominique Davis, also known as Brown and Bendy, and here on this channel we practice flexibility of the mind, the body, and the spirit. Okay, so glad to be back. We are going to do the same setup as last week, where this will be more like a podcast type episode, so make sure that you grab a snack. A lot of you guys said in the live chat last week that you wanted to take notes, so maybe a notebook and a pen. Let's just keep this easy breezy. It's your world. I'm just here as a voice in it. Okay. Also, we have a newsletter. We are doing a gratitude challenge through the newsletter. So if you would like to sign up for the newsletter, check out the description box and there will be a link to sign up for the newsletter and to join it. Okay, today we are talking about something so important, especially if you are on the road to development, expansion, evolution, or if you are just the type of person with a growth mindset or trying to be the type of person with a growth mindset. This talk is really important for those of us who are shifting from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, because this is one of the big what's a good word? This is one of the biggest outcomes of changing yourself and changing your lifestyle. And that huge outcome is your world changing and the people who you are around will change. When you are dedicated to a life of expansion and when you're dedicated to growth and understanding that there's always more to learn, there's always more to experience, when you're dedicated to that lifestyle, because it is a lifestyle, when you're dedicated to that, you'll find that if you have to make a choice. Sometimes you have to choose staying the same in order to keep the people in your lives happy, or you have to choose yourself and your growth, and in turn, sometimes relationships and certain environments fall away. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So excited. I want to start this talk by stating the obvious. When we change, we change. When we change, our life changes. What I think is so interesting when we talk about evolution and manifestation culture and evolving as people, a lot of times we are so focused on what we want to pull into our reality, and we're focused on the end goal, what we want. I want to change because I want my life to be like this. But because we're so focused on the thing that we want, I want to change so I can get a relationship. I want to change so I can have more money in my bank account. I want to change so I can have a better job. We're so focused on what we want, we're not noticing that our entire lives have to change in order for us to be able to maintain the very thing that we want to have in our lives. And it does not change overnight. It's so important to realize that when you're on the road to evolution, things will change in your life every day. So committing to evolution is detaching yourself from what is in your current reality now. In order to grow, you have to be willing to let go of what is in your life right now, because some of those things do not serve you. And if you knew that they didn't serve you in your current reality, you would have already let them go. So when it comes to letting go of people, places, and things, we have to have a softness in our heart and allow for God to show us what is truly for us and what truly aligns with His will for us, versus I want this in my life because it makes me comfortable. It validates me. It pumps up my ego. I want it in my life for all these things and I don't want to let it go. We have to recognize that as we are on the path to growth, as we are on the path to expansion, certain things will expose themselves, and those things will expose themselves as either great for us and we need to lean in, or not so good for us and we need to create some distance. Allowing yourself to outgrow your old personality is allowing yourself to outgrow your old reality. And this change, this shift can be so scary because the unknown is scary. Doing something different and not knowing how that thing will turn out can be scary. So acknowledging that there is a little bit of fear in the unknown and understanding that that little voice inside you, that voice that I know is the Holy Spirit, but that little voice inside you that is encouraging you to find strength and to find faith in the unseen so that you can push forward, that voice is not here to hurt you. That voice is here to help you and guide you and love you and to lead you into a reality where you are more accepting and loving of yourself because you're expressing your true self, you're expressing your true purpose. When we change, our reality will change. We will not just get the thing that we desire, if it's God's will. We will not just get the thing that we desire. We will get a whole lifestyle change with it. So making sure that we are primed to be brave, making sure that we are primed to be brave in the face of things being different, the people in our lives being different, the places, the things, and most importantly, ourselves being different. A big example of this for me is going to be my hair. When I came back to YouTube, I had weave in. And when I was younger, I always used weave as protective styling. It never bothered me. I liked it because I could braid my hair up. My hair would grow so fast under my wigs and under my weaves. And I was like, this is convenient and this is it. But I haven't really been protective styling my hair in like over 5 or 6 years. I had locks for a really long time. So a couple months ago, I was like, I think I'm gonna start growing my hair out again. So just based on old pattern, based on old habit, I started to get into wigs and different types of things to protective style. And this time around, I hated it. And I tried so hard to make myself enjoy the process. Like, I'm growing my hair out. Protective styling is just a part of that. Weaves and wigs are a part of that. When my hair gets longer, I can get braids and then I can switch it up and do weaves, wigs, and braids. Like, I kept telling myself this and kept forcing myself because I would try, full wigs, I think they're called, where like they're all tracks, and I was like, this looks crazy, I cannot do it. And then I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do lace fronts because this is the most realistic. They take so much work, but this is the most realistic, and if it looks any less realistic than this, I can't do it. And even the lace fronts, I couldn't fully get on board. I loved the way they looked, but they didn't sit right in my spirit. And I had to just admit to myself, even though 5 years ago and beyond, because I was wearing weaves like since college, in high school, all that. So even though 5 years ago and further, I loved wigs, I'm not the same person now. And I had to accept that. So now I am shifting into a place where I'm realizing I want to grow my hair out. And I'm going to have to do that without wigs, maybe with braids. We'll see how I feel about braids. But I can't see myself sitting in somebody's chair for more than 3 hours. Lord, give me strength. But I'm realizing I have to grow my hair out without the protective styles, which is bringing me to a place where I just have to be okay with how my hair grows. I've always had this little thing in my mind that I am not pretty with short hair, that my hair needs to be long and longer than my chin for me to be attracted. And this doesn't mean like texture-wise. I don't mean my hair has to be long and straight. I mean, even my natural hair, I usually don't feel comfortable wearing it out unless it is big and long. So this is bringing me into a new place in my journey where I'm forced to see my beauty with short hair because everything God created was beautiful, including myself. So I'm going to have to challenge that in my belief system. And as my hair grows and gets to that quote unquote awkward length, I'm going to have to love myself through that. So fun. But I don't like the wigs anymore. I don't like the protective styles anymore, at least right now where I am in my season. And I tried to make a square peg fit in a circular hole, and I tried to wear the weaves, I tried to wear the wigs, but I had to accept that I've changed and I don't like them anymore. And that's okay. When you become a different person, you're gonna have to expect some different behaviors, and don't resist it. Don't fight against it. Let yourself become. Okay, so now let's move into the external. When we change, our external reality changes. And a lot of times that comes in the form of people. The people in our lives will change. Why do the people in our lives react so bizarrely to us pursuing positive change for ourselves? Why do we often have to find new friends and new social circles when we commit ourselves to being better? Age old saying, misery loves company. Misery loves company. Your expansion, your growth, you committing to being better is going to really trigger some people. I have been on YouTube for a long time, so I have a lot of experience with being a mirror for people. Even before I had any subscribers, I think that my ability to get on camera and speak and make a fool of myself and just be willing to look crazy, I think that that made me a mirror for a lot of people. So I've been a mirror for a very long time. And what I mean by mirror is when you do things that are brave and big and possibly life-changing, other people will interact with you and you will trigger them in a way where they start to stop seeing you and they stop seeing what you're doing in your own personal stuff, and they start to compare everything that you're doing to themselves. Like, okay, she's doing this, well, why am I not doing that? Okay, well, she's making this choice, why am I not making this choice? And they stop seeing you and just start processing everything about you in a way where they're comparing everything about you to themselves. So that's what I mean by you become a mirror. They don't see you anymore. They just see what they don't like about themselves in you. I've been experiencing this for a very long time in my life. And I'm not going to say that it's jealousy, because it's not always jealousy, because again, they don't see you. They're not comparing themselves to you in a way where they're like, I'm jealous and I want what she has. It's more of a subconscious, I have goals. I have things I want to do. Why am I not focusing on what I want to do in order to focus on my own purpose? I think that for a long time, I have been a mirror to people who are frustrated about their own journey and their own growth. So when you begin to really start to hone in on your own purpose and your own growth, the same thing will happen to you, the same exact thing. The people in your lives who are frustrated with their own journey and their own path will begin to compare your progress to their progress. Not everyone's going to do that, but some people will. If you are a psychology major, go ahead and explain the deets in the comments below, because I don't know why, but this is just something that happens. The way that we can deal with this is by releasing our need for validation. When you trigger others and they begin to act differently towards you, their changed perception of you is going to appear in a variety of ways. Like, you're going to have people who are supportive. You're going to have some people who are like, thank God you were starting to love yourself. I'm so happy for you. You're going to have people in your lives who are just so supportive that you are really taking yourself seriously. Those are the people you lean into and gravitate towards. You're going to have some people who are kind of fake about it, like that's great, girl. That's great. But through their actions, you don't really see support. Through their demeanor, you don't see support. They're not outright saying like, I don't agree with this, but through their body and their physicality and the way that they approach you, you can be like, oh, you're not really on board. And then you'll have people who are like very loud, like, why do you want to do this? Why do you want to do this? This is dumb. This is stupid. You're going to make a fool of yourself. Please don't do this. I'm embarrassed for you. You'll have people who are so loud about you doing the wrong thing for yourself. And it's truly wild. It's truly wild. The people who are loud about it are 100% projecting themselves off of you, because who are we to say what's right for another person in any sense? Let me tell you something right now. Unless you are my baby, unless you are Adam and Olivia, I'm not telling you what's right or wrong for you. And in some cases, my husband, because wife duties. But unless you are under my household, I will never tell you what is right or wrong for you. I'm going to tell you to pray about it. So that being said, in what world do we think that we have that power? And I think that when people think they have the power to say, that's right for you, that's wrong for you, they're under this misconception that they know you the way they know themselves. But I digress. In these cases, we have to make sure that when we interact with people like that, we do not become so hungry for their validation that we start to sacrifice our own growth and our own plan in order to please them. And the best way to make sure that we stay on track is just by staying true to the intention that we set for ourselves. This is such a silly little example, but something very weird about me, and even me saying that this is weird about me, shows that I'm still looking at how other people feel about it, but it's a process, it's a journey. But something interesting about me is that I have oats for lunch every day. Every day. And I've learned over the years that my body is very sensitive, very, very sensitive. And I'm learning how to eat things in moderation. The only thing that I do not eat any of is meat. But otherwise, and like I eat fish, so like red and white meat. But otherwise, I eat some dairy, I eat some sugar, but I really, really, really try to make sure I'm intentional about how much of those things that I eat. Because if I eat too much, if I fall out of balance, my body will tell me immediately, and it's not a fun story. So, all this to say, I find that when I'm by myself and it's time for lunch, what is most reliable for me and the least amount of stress for me is to just make some oats and fruit. And at first, when I did this, I would do it like once a week and be like, I can't have it every day. People will think I'm so weird. I can't have oats every day. I gotta have oats and then like do other stuff. And then consistently, I'd start the week with one thing. And then by the end of the week, I'm eating crap because I gave myself all this free reign to figure out what I wanted to eat. And by the end of the week, I'm eating like freaking French fries and like all of the things. And there's nothing wrong with French fries in moderation. But I learned that if I give myself permission to just have the freaking oats every day, maybe not with blueberries, maybe with apples, maybe not with apples, I don't know, maybe with granola. Like there's so many ways you can switch it up. But if I allow myself to have oats every day, not only do I take the stress out of what I'm going to have for lunch, my health is better. And the only thing that stopped me was I don't want people to think I'm weird. And that is silly. Okay, so making sure that we're making choices grounded in the intention for our lives and our purpose versus making choices grounded in I want to be what other people perceive as normal. Trying to be normal will stop your growth every time. And I think I'm going to piggyback off of that point. Definitely make sure you release your desire for validation with your choices, but let's talk a little more about making choices intentionally, because your choices will be a reflection of either the old you or the you that you are becoming. So we need to talk about choices just for a little bit. From the moment you wake up, you have the opportunity to make a choice that supports who you were or the choice that supports who you are becoming. From the moment you open your eyes, praise Jesus, we have a choice. So right now, watching this video, you have a choice. When this video is over, you have a choice. There are choices everywhere. There is an abundance of choices. So making sure that when we are making these choices, we are staying present and aware, because when we're not present, and when we are on autopilot, our mind will say the choices from the old self are the safe choices, and those are the easy choices. So let's do that. We must be vigilant about making choices. I'm getting into mom mode. We must be vigilant about making choices that support the people that we are becoming. This means making choices that are grounded in our purpose, our God-given purpose, versus making choices that make us feel comfortable. This takes a lot of introspection, a lot of knowing oneself, and that's work that we should all consistently be doing. But when we are moving throughout the world, making sure that we are consistently nurturing the reality that we want for ourselves. And nurturing that reality means making choices that align with the person we want to be and the person that we are becoming. Or else, how do you expect that world to show up? Like I said at the beginning, when your world changes, your life changes. When you're trying to get a certain thing in your reality, reality, you're not just going to get that thing, it's going to be a whole 360 picture. So knowing that means understanding that our choices must align with the reality that we are co-creating with God. Our choices must align. Do not make God do all the work. He's done enough work. A good example of this for me is going to be working out. Oh my goodness. I never feel like working out. I never feel like working out. But I have Pinterest boards that inspire me. I have Pinterest boards that are Pilates workout, Pinterest boards that are different yoga poses that I would love to be able to express one day. No rush, just in life. I could be 80. I'll be happy if I reach it when I'm 80. No rush. But just things that motivate me to get on my mat, things that motivate me to break a sweat. I also will allow myself to do slower practices on days where I feel a little more lazy, a little more maybe even sick even because like I said, I've been sick for like the last 2 weeks. But as long as I move my body in some way, I know that I have nurtured my reality, the reality that God wants me to enter into and create for myself through my own work, okay? Because this is not magic. There are no magic wands. So I know that when I do not feel like working out, but when I choose to get on my mat anyway, I know what reality I am nurturing. Versus when I don't feel like working out, and I choose to binge watch something or to scroll on my phone anyway, I know what reality I'm nurturing and it's not the reality that is most fulfilling to me. So yeah, being aware of the choices that we're making and the reality that we're nurturing. That's a good way to look at it. Because I don't want you to think that just because there are choices, there are wrong choices, because you have to meet yourself where you are. You can't try to skip steps. You can't try to fast forward, like that's that toxic manifestation mindset. You can't try to make it happen now because you want it now. Where you are is where you are. So just practicing awareness around the lifestyle that you're nurturing, understanding that this choice is going to nurture this lifestyle and this choice will nurture this lifestyle. The more aware you are of that, the easier it will be to make the choice that is most in alignment with the life that serves you. All right, that's it. That's all I got for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video because I enjoyed making it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up so other people on YouTube know that it's valuable. Also, if you would like me to speak about anything else that I've spoken about today, make sure you leave a comment and let me know. These videos are different. These are different, and I need all the subject matter. So I want to know, and nothing's off the table. Nothing is off the table. I'll talk about love. I'll talk about relationships. I'll talk about everything. What do you want me to talk about? And then if you want to be notified when I come out with future videos, just make sure that you subscribe, click that notification bell so you can be notified. And yeah, that's that. That's that. I love you so much. I'll see you later. Bye.